I always thought darkness hides nothing, that it's just empty, silent, cold. But today, when I entered this forest, I felt it. Here, the darkness isn't empty. It lives. It watches. It waits. I walk slowly, stepping on wet branches, and every crack under my feet suddenly seems too loud, as if I'm disturbing something that has belonged to this place for a long time. I don't want to walk faster because I'm afraid that if I start running, something standing behind me in the darkness will run too. I feel it so clearly that the skin on my back tightens on its own. There's a legend about this forest. Not about spirits, not about demons. About a shadow that appears only when you walk alone among the trees. It has no face, no voice, no shape. It's made of darkness, of what you fear inside yourself. It doesn't exist in daylight, doesn't exist near other people. It's born from silence, from darkness, and from the thought you try to push away but can't. They say it stands exactly where the flashlight's beam ends, just one step beyond what you can see. I walk, shining the light ahead, and sometimes I turn my head to the side, as if someone touched my shoulder with their gaze. The camera trembles in my hand, but I try not to show it, and the forest becomes darker and darker, as if the moonlight fades when I pass by. I hear my footsteps, and after each one, another crunch. Quiet, barely audible, but definitely not mine. I stop, and that sound stops too. I stand, holding my breath, and listen. The forest is silent, but this silence is so thick it feels like someone is hiding in it. I take a step forward, and someone, imperceptibly, soundlessly, takes a step behind me, not catching up, just following. They say the shadow doesn't chase you. It waits until you start to fear it, and then it grows. I feel something black and cold moving between the trees, but when I turn the light that way, there's nothing. Always nothing. But the feeling that something is watching me from below, between the roots or from above, from the branches, it doesn't disappear. It grows. I raise the camera up, and the tree crowns look like hands reaching toward me. The moon hangs between them like an eye that doesn't blink. I try to tell myself it's just imagination, just the night, just darkness playing with my brain. But then why does my heart start beating faster exactly in those moments when I feel breath behind me? Why do I hear someone standing right behind my back, as if waiting for me to turn around? I know the legend. If you look back, it gets closer, and I don't want to check how much closer. I walk further, barely breathing. The flashlight seems to grow heavier in my hand. The shadows between the trees change shape when I'm not looking at them, and return to their form when I point the light. And suddenly I notice. The silence around me is no longer silence. It seems to breathe, first slowly, then deeper, then closer. The darkness here doesn't just stand. It moves, and what's more terrifying, it moves in rhythm with my steps. I feel like somewhere nearby someone is standing with their back to a tree, staring without blinking. I don't see it, but I feel it. A light chill on the back of my neck. The weight of a gaze I can't prove but can't deny either. And suddenly I catch myself thinking, if what's following me doesn't stop, it means it's no longer behind me. Somewhere nearby, maybe to the left, maybe to the right, maybe it's walking beside me, exactly beyond the light's edge, step by step. The longer I walk, the clearer I understand. The greatest danger isn't that something is following me. It's that I don't know where I end and where what the darkness created in my mind begins. And the scariest thing right now isn't that there might be someone else in the forest. It's that, in the silence, I'm starting to hear two breaths. One is mine, and the other, slower, deeper, closer. And I fear only one thing, that when I reach the end of the path, this shadow won't disappear. It will come with me, and it will leave the forest first. The path ahead narrows. The trees lean inward, their branches forming a tunnel that swallows the moonlight. My flashlight beam seems weaker now, as if the darkness is draining it, feeding on it. I notice my shadow on the ground, cast by the weak light, but it's wrong. It moves a fraction of a second after I do, like it's learning, like it's remembering how to be me. I hear a branch snap to my left, not close but not far. The sound echoes in a way that makes it impossible to tell the distance. I swing the light toward it, and for just a moment, I see something dark slip behind a tree, too fast to be human, too deliberate to be an animal. My throat tightens. I force myself to keep walking. The legend never said what happens if you stop moving entirely. The air changes. It's colder now, thick with moisture that tastes like metal on my tongue. My breath comes out in clouds, visible even in the dim light. But there's another breath too. I can see it. A faint mist forming between two trees ahead, rising and falling in steady rhythm. No body, no source, just breath, hanging in the air like a ghost that hasn't learned to disappear. I want to turn back. Every instinct screams at me to run, but the path behind me looks different now. Longer, darker. The trees have closed in, and I can't remember if they were always this tight together. My footprints in the mud are filling with black water, erasing themselves as if I was never here at all. Something scrapes against bark. A slow, deliberate sound, like fingers running along rough wood. It's close, too close. I spin around, flashlight cutting through the darkness, but there's only trees, only shadows, only the feeling that something just ducked out of sight the instant before I looked. My camera suddenly feels heavy. I glance at the screen and my stomach drops. In the playback from 30 seconds ago, I see myself walking. But in the background, barely visible, there's a shape. Tall, impossibly thin, standing motionless between two trees. I wasn't looking at that spot when I passed it. I never saw it, but the camera did. I stopped the playback. I don't want to see if it moved closer in the next frame. I already know it did. The wind picks up, but it's wrong. It blows from all directions at once, pushing and pulling, as if the forest itself is breathing me in and out. Leaves spiral around me, dead and brown, though it's not autumn. They move in patterns, circles within circles, and for a moment they look like words, like a message written in decay. I hear my name, whispered, not from one direction but from everywhere, echoing off the trees, coming from the ground, falling from the branches above. It's not a voice I recognize. It's my voice, saying my name the way I would say it, but empty, hollow, like something is wearing my voice like a mask. The path splits ahead. I don't remember a split. The map I studied showed one straight trail through the forest. But now there are two paths, identical, both disappearing into darkness. I shine the light down the left path and see my footprints in the mud, leading that way. Fresh footprints. But I haven't walked that path. I shine the light down the right, and there are my footprints too, just as fresh, just as real. Something laughs. Soft, distant, like a child who found something funny. But there's no joy in it. Only hunger. Only waiting. I choose neither path. I step between them into the undergrowth, pushing through branches that grab at my clothes like fingers. The camera catches on something, and when I pull it free, I see a mark on the tree. Scratches, deep and deliberate, forming a symbol I don't recognize but somehow understand. It means boundary. It means too late. It means welcome. My flashlight flickers. Once, twice. The darkness surges forward during those brief moments of black, and I feel it press against me, cold and solid, before the light returns. Something touched my face. I wipe my cheek and my hand comes away wet, but it's not water. It's too thick, too warm. I don't look at it closely. The breathing behind me is louder now, close enough that I should be able to turn and see what's making it. But I remember the legend. I remember the warning. Looking back makes it real. Looking back gives it permission. So I walk faster, branches whipping my face, roots trying to trip me, and that breathing keeps pace, never faster, never slower, always exactly one step behind. I stumble into a clearing. The moonlight breaks through here, bright and silver, and for a moment I feel relief. But then I see what's in the center of the clearing. A mirror, tall, ornate, standing upright in the dirt as if planted there. Its surface is black, reflecting nothing, drinking in the moonlight. I know I shouldn't approach it. Every horror story, every legend, every warning I've ever heard tells me to walk away. But my feet move forward. The breathing behind me stops. The forest holds its breath. Even the wind dies. Everything is waiting to see what I'll do. I stand before the mirror, and slowly, the black surface clears. I see my reflection. I look terrified, exhausted, covered in scratches I don't remember getting. But something's wrong. My reflection isn't moving when I move. It's staring at me, studying me, and then it smiles. I'm not smiling. My reflection raises its hand and waves. I'm not waving. My reflection mouths words I can't hear. I'll take it from here. The flashlight dies. Complete darkness swallows the clearing, and I hear footsteps. Running. Coming from behind me. Coming from the trees. Coming from everywhere. I try to run, but I don't know which direction is out. I don't know which direction is deeper. The footsteps multiply. Dozens of them. Hundreds. All running. All converging on this spot. The flashlight flickers back on, and I'm no longer in the clearing. I'm on the path. The same path I started on. I see the forest entrance ahead, just 50 feet away. Lights from the parking lot visible through the trees. Relief floods through me. I run. But as I run, I feel it. The shadow isn't behind me anymore. It's inside me. I feel it in my chest, cold and heavy, wrapping around my heart. I feel it in my thoughts, whispering things I don't want to think. I feel it learning how to move my legs, how to blink my eyes, how to smile my smile. I burst out of the forest and into the parking lot. My car is there, exactly where I left it. I fumble with the keys, hands shaking, and climb inside. I lock the doors. I start the engine. I look in the rearview mirror to back out, and I freeze. Someone is sitting in the back seat. I see them in the mirror, perfectly clear. They look exactly like me. Same face, same clothes, same expression of absolute terror. We stare at each other through the mirror. Then, slowly, their expression changes. The fear melts away. They smile. They lean forward, their face coming close to my ear, and they whisper, "Thank you for the ride." I whip around to look at the back seat. Empty. Nothing there. But when I turn back to the mirror, they're still there, sitting calmly, patiently, watching me with my own eyes. And then I understand. The shadow didn't follow me out. It didn't need to, because somewhere in that forest, in that clearing, by that mirror, we traded places. I'm driving home now. I keep checking the mirror. They're always there, sitting quietly, smiling gently, waiting. And the worst part is, I can feel myself changing. My thoughts aren't quite my own anymore. My memories are mixing with something else. Someone else. When I speak, the words come out right, but they feel rehearsed, borrowed. I pull into my driveway. I walk to my door. I use my key. Everything is normal. Everything is fine. But when I catch my reflection in the hallway mirror, I pause. Istare. And for just a moment, I don't recognize the person looking back at me. They move correctly, mirror my actions perfectly, but there's something behind their eyes. Something old. Something patient. Something that has been waiting in the darkness for someone to let it in. And now it's here. In my home. In my skin. In my life. The shadow left the forest first. Just like the legend said. And I'm still in there. Somewhere. Standing in the dark. Feeling something else wearing my face. Living my life. Sleeping in my bed. Trapped in the space between the trees and the mirror. Between what I was and what replaced me. The darkness won. Not by chasing me, but by making me invited in. And now, somewhere out there, someone else is reading this story. Someone else is thinking about walking alone in the dark. Someone else is wondering if shadows can really follow you home. They can. And they do. The question is, are you reading this because you're curious? Or because something that looks like you is remembering what happened? Making sure the story spreads. Making sure the forest is never empty for long? Check your reflection. Look closely. Really closely. Are you sure that's you looking back?